terms of best player, Chris, I don't think there's any question at this point, based on not just his performance, but what has happened elsewhere with contenders not performing well, their teams not performing well, i.e. J.T. Barrett and Saquon Barkley in the Big Ten, but others, Sam Darnold going back weeks and weeks and weeks, that Baker Mayfield has distinguished himself as, I don't want to say the best player in college football, because the Heisman Trophy is a quarterback, running back, somewhat wide receiver award, but the best skill position player in college football in what he's doing game to game. Hasn't had any bad games. None.
No, it's definitely impressive. And the way he rallies in a big game is very, very impressive. I think he's the clear-cut favorite at this point. His QBR is as high as it's ever been. And last year, he got to New York, right, last year. So we're looking at a guy that's only gotten better. The wrinkle he brings to the offense, he's incredibly hard to bring down. He brings an attitude to the game that he likes to be challenged. And I think you just have to appreciate a competitor like that, even when you're playing against him. And I thought he showed a fair amount of respect to Oklahoma State, after the game and everything like that. So, you have to give him his credit. In big games, he shows up and he's a clutch player, and he has the stats to back it up. Not to mention his multiple Heisman moments so far this year with the flag plant and then what he did in Bedlam. And I mean, it's his race to lose, in my opinion.
72% passer. That's in this league, in this conference, it's not completely unheard of, but that's at the very high end of anything you can expect in college football. The better quarterbacks are usually in the 65 to 68% range, and he's pushing 72%, 28 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And it's just going to cap off, regardless of what anyone's thought of Baker Mayfield or the Big 12 or OU and the quality of competition or anything prior to 2017. It's really, truly, and it's tough to appreciate in the moment, but going to cap off one of the more prolific quarterbacking careers. I don't want to go hyperbole and say in the history of college football, but certainly in the last 20 or 25 years.
Yeah, Mike Gundy said in his press conference, he said Baker Mayfield, when a play breaks down and he's left to improvise, is as good as he's seen since Vince Young. And you mentioned that, 71.7 completion percentage. He's averaging nearly 12 yards an attempt with that. So it's not a lot of dink and dunk passes. There's quite a bit of deep balls in that. So it's extremely impressive. I feel like I keep using the same word over and over, but I mean, that's the word it comes down to. It's impressive.
It is. And considering the competition that we've seen in the Big 12, an upgrade defensively, but just the overall teams, I think, are better and deeper, about 1 through 4 to 6, something in that range. So he's faced, I don't want to say elite, but very good competition. Nobody faces elite competition more than once or twice a year, but faces very good competition. We know what he did in Columbus, and regardless of the Buckeyes looking awful last week, I think that'll prove out to be a pretty good football team. And then, of course, what he did in what basically was a showdown for the Big 12 championship lead at this point. And he's going to have that next one, of course, standing right in front of him in a very tough TCU defense. Yeah, Baker Mayfield looks to be in great shape. Talking Big 12 football with Chris Ross. You can join him on the Land Grant Gauntlet. Just look up the LGG. You get all your college football needs concerning the Big 12 and its quest to get to the college football playoff right then and there. All right, Chris, we appreciate the discussion.
As always, love it.